Okay, this is recorded right after the boredom talk. But goals, I was talking about ideas, right? You could get a really good idea, but it really doesn't mean anything until it's acted upon. And one thing I learned was that most people, when they get a good idea, or they will say the idea, and they will say that they would love to do this or love to do that, but it is meaningless. It makes them feel good, which is why people say it. And I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that," but at the end of the day, does it really mean anything? No, not really, until it actually happens. Unless people hearing you like trust that you're gonna do it. Maybe it's previous experience of like, oh, this person's always acted upon what they've said. That's fair. But for most people, it's most it's not gonna do anything. And a good example, right, is people saying, "Oh yeah, New Year's, I'm gonna start going to the gym again." Most people quit after a month, and I'm guilty of it too. And that's the problem with saying I'm gonna start going to the gym already gives the good feeling of dopamine, and that almost demotivates you to do anything more because you, or at least for me, it really feels good. So that almost is kind of rewarding already. Not the full reward, but it almost is already rewarding by saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym," or "I'm gonna start a business. I have a really good idea for this website. I'm gonna start a business that's gonna blow up." And I would feel good if I had an idea. I don't have that idea, but for someone, right, they probably feel good saying that, and that demotivates them to do anything. The real people though, the people who are get the most respect are the people who don't say anything and they act on their ideas. And if you don't say anything, there is a higher chance that you would probably act on it. So basically, don't say your ideas, don't say your plans out loud to other people. To yourself, sure, but I don't think saying it to other people is good because then you lose that motivation to want to actually do it. Like for this channel, I didn't tell people, "Oh, I want to start a channel. I want to start a blogging website where I talk about my ideas." I don't do it until after it started. But I'm still guilty of other things too, where I'm saying, "Oh, I want to make this," and I end up not making it. So yeah, that's really important to not say what you're gonna do. So, and that's a really big thing about goals. If you say your goals, it loses motivation. I am repeating a lot of stuff right now. Another thing about goals too, I feel like a lot of people are really bad at goal making. Like goals should be a very specific action that should be done in a specific time frame. So for example, right, a lot of people are like, I want to become a millionaire, and that's my goal. And that's not an action. You don't do to become a millionaire. You have to say specifically what you're gonna do within a certain time frame. So I'm gonna start an e-commerce by September 2026. That is a better goal because now, but even then, it's a lot. It's hard with the goals, right? Because then you need to plan it. There's a lot of layers to it. Because it's like, how are you gonna start an e-commerce? But at least it's a bit more specific than I'm gonna become a millionaire, right? Oh, a good example is there's this guy that my parents were talking about, my family friend he's a software developer, right? And he really wants to start his own company. And he's saying, "Yeah, I want to start a company." He's saying it around, but he doesn't really get it done. And if he does, he doesn't have a plan for it either, which is a hard thing. He's just like, "I want to start my own website." And it's like, it's too vague, way too vague. If you have an idea though, like, oh man, I was like, oh man, these companies, they've been making coffee like this, but I just found out you could make coffee much cheaper. Then there you go. And now I want to start a coffee business based on this idea. And now you can say I'm a startup founder, or I'm a website startup founder, because now you have that idea. And that adds upon to the fact that you don't tell other people this too. So that's my whole thoughts on goals. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.